And good evening and welcome to Monday Night Live while I clear my throat. Sorry about that. How is everyone doing? Happy post-Thanksgiving if you're in the U.S. Hope everything was great. Hopefully you hung out with family. What's going on there? Something's on. Here we go. Yeah, we have a lot to do tonight. I have some cool things to show you, and I have 3 new paintings that I'll show you, as well as giving one of those away, which will be fun. A little bit of house cleaning to do. First off, though, as always, I want to thank last week's star givers were Mr. Anderson and Gary Shees. Thank you so much, guys. That's amazing. To everyone who took advantage of the 543 sale, which is only announced to people who are watching the live streams, thank you all. A bunch of people took advantage of that. Some people didn't make it in time, but I have good news. So every holiday season I have a sale. It's going to be a short sale this year. Last year I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks. This week it's this week. This year it's only 1 week. So it's through December 7th, and you can save the same amount. The only difference is now it covers everything. So if there's an actual painting that you want, if there's prints that you're waiting on or wanted to get, that 40% code will now cover everything. The only difference is it changed from Live 25 to Holiday 25 to keep the confusion at a minimum, because I excel at making confusion a maximum. So I'll go over that again as we go. I'll show you a few things that I was looking at here that are still up on the block. So I didn't bring any big time paintings, but you guys know them. There are some real big paintings up there too. So the 40% counts for those too. So if you want to save a lot of money, the original paintings are the way to go. It works on all the 543s. It works on the framing, the prints, but I'll show you some of that as we get going. What else do I got? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so I'll remind you about the sale as we go too, because that's really important. It's only for this week, so it's through the end of the week. Tonight we have a cool project. Every year I paint a little painting for my mom as part of her Christmas present. It's kind of a way to celebrate, who she is and what she means to all of us. And this year it's a different topic every year, and I've posted some of them. But this year I thought I'd paint it with you guys. So she doesn't watch the YouTube feed. She's mostly a Facebook person, so she won't see the surprise, which will be nice. She knows she's getting it because she gets one every year. But that's what we're going to do tonight. All right, I think I got everything. Yay! Let's switch over and we'll get the rest of the stuff going. Oh, okay. This is also, if you haven't been keeping track, on Wednesday nights. Jeebus, honey, thank you so much. You're awesome. First, let me say hello to everyone. Ooh, I lost the live chat. There we go. I'll say hello. There we go. I can't see. Oh, Dan. Yeah, Dan Mayer. I couldn't see you there for a second. Hello, Dan. Mr. Cheese Grits, what's going on? Stash, what's happening? Yay. Let's switch to this one so I can put my head in the way so I can really see things. Brian Moore, what's up? YouTube changed all your names too. So Brian Moore is no longer Brian Moore. Brian Moore is -9 N9R. I don't understand that. Chuck Soup, what's going on? Ron Basil, what's happening? Michael McClung on vacation. What's happening, Michael? Real One, what's going on? Paula, how's it going? Mark Reeves, what's happening? Yay. Honey, I saw you. Greg, what's happening, Greg? Anyone who's waiting for stuff, I'm getting just about everything out tomorrow, which will be lovely. I saw Greg jump on and he has something in the queue, so that's going out tomorrow. Who else we got? Mr. Garcia, cheers, buddy. What's going on? I think I am pretty much caught up. Patricia, I'm glad you're here too. Hello. I know, exactly, romper roomish. So here is the Tokyo painting. The Tokyo painting is not in focus. There it is. This is the painting I'm working on Wednesday night. So if you want to see what's involved in like a major painting, like something like this, that's what we do on Wednesday night. It's not live. It's actually pre-recorded, but we premiere the new episode every Wednesday, and I'm in the comments so we can talk and you guys can yell at me and stuff. But we are making time on this. I only have this small section to do up here, and then the rest is clouds and stuff. So we are on episode 75 right now, which is crazy. They're half-hour episodes, and the painting's going. So it's almost done though, and then we'll be ready to move on to another one. So anyway, that was on the bench because I was working on it. What else we got? Yeah, let me do some stuff about the sale first. Before I do that, though, this is exciting. Here is my giant pack lock from Cheese Grits and NyQuil. He sent this to me, and this is his challenge lock. So if you've never watched Lock Pickers, it's pretty amazing. They basically have challenges where they try to unlock specific locks, and they try to make it hard for each other by actually making the guts for each lock themselves. And so this is his challenge lock, and what we decided to do is we decided to paint this, and he's on his feed. When he got this, he opened it up and he said, wow, this is a real chunk of metal. It is a chunk of metal. This thing is solid. You could damage someone with this. It's going to be a lot of fun. I was originally going to grind it, but it's got this really, really cool texture on it already, which is awesome because I'm just going to seal it, clean it, seal it, and we're just going to go for it. So keep an eye on that. We'll definitely do one of the feeds or a couple of the feeds with this guy. I'm not sure exactly what's going on this. We have a bunch of ideas. We just got to nail it down. But this will be a fun one. So keep an eye out for that. So that's going on too. I meant to grab that last week, but I forgot because I was too busy doing stupid stuff. What else? Yeah, the sale. There are some things to look out for. Obviously, if you were looking at a 543 and missed one, you could jump back on. You guys have seen a bunch of the 543s, but this sale will include everything, including prints, like full circle. And then this is the New York painting. You guys never really saw this. I had this done, and I don't think I did any of this live, but it's the same size as the Tokyo painting. They're all the same size, but this is just my Manhattan one. I would show you this painting live, but this one's sold, so I don't have it anymore. But there are others like Full Circle, which is my Cape Cod painting. This is down in Provincetown. So these are really affordable now anyway. They're Giclée prints. They look exactly like the real painting. But yeah, those are on sale. And then of course the regular paintings, all the original paintings. So there are a couple on there that are like crazy. Like we did this one live, the Bel Air hood ornament. So this one with the sale price is like the price, almost like the price of a commissioned 543, which is ridiculous. It's a full painting, it's framed, it's ready to go. So this one's on there. There are a couple other inexpensive paintings that I had done for live streams that are on there too. And then there are the big boys too, again, but 40% off a big boy will save you a ton. So I promise that's all the pitching I'll do tonight for that. I'll show you the code again in a minute, but it's easy. It's just Holiday 25. So let's get to the paintings for tonight. That sounds like a good idea. Brandon, what's up? I saw someone say hi. Rhea, what's going on, Rhea? How you doing? What else we got? Okay, I think I got everyone. Stash, hello. All right, let's go. So what I did tonight was I picked a few of the paintings that people have been asking for over and over again for a while. It's a pretty good bet that if you just keep asking for the same thing over and over again, I'll eventually do it. I can't promise that, but it has happened in the past. Just like if you want one in color or with a color or gold leaf, if you keep asking for that over and over again, there is a slight chance that I will do that. I'll show you a couple of these things. No, I'll show those after. All right, let's get to it. First one, Patricia Curo has been asking for a mini golden doodle almost every week, and I finally did it. So here it is right here. This thing, such a cute dog. Make sure you're focused here because it's focused on the other one. So the mini golden doodle, I thought it's been around for a long time. Dogs in general were basically domestication of dogs came from the gray wolf, and that happened about 20,000 years ago. The first connection was likely based on food sharing. So there was a brave wolf that would come close enough to a human encampment for a little bit of chow, and that connection grew stronger and stronger. But it eventually worked towards mutual protection as well. the wolves would alert the early humans of bad stuff, and until we got to the domestication craziness that we have today. The mini doodle is just adorable. So this is a cross between, the mini doodle is a cross between the golden retriever and a toy poodle. I didn't realize this, but this breed was really began in the early 2000s. And the intent of this breed was to create a dog with a mild temperament of a retriever with the low shedding and hypoallergenic coat of the poodle. And this is what you get. It's a pile of cute. It looks like a little stuffed animal. So that is your mini golden doodle. And I call that one just a doodle. So there you go. So that's the first one. There were only 3 tonight because I had to do some other ones. I had some commissions that I needed to get done. So I did actually do 5 of them this week, but the other 2 are commissions. And I'll show them to you too. All right. Next one up is your friend and mine, Mr. Western Massacre Locksport, or better known as Cheese Grits and NyQuil, has been asking for a Porsche logo. And I did that. And it's in gold leaf. It's not 24 karat gold leaf, it's actually imitation gold leaf because I ran out of 24, but it has the same effect. So this is my my little Porsche logo. What can I tell you about this? The logo is made, it's on every Porsche. And the prancing horse is a symbol for Porsche's hometown of Stuttgart, which is kind of cool. And in German, that means Studgarten, which is also pretty funny. The antlers that are on the side here and the red and black stripes represent the state coat of arms, and that crest is from the Württemberg family. So that is the Porsche logo. And yeah, in gold leaf, they come out cool because they have a life of their own. So that's how that one came out there. And that one is just called There Is No Substitute, because that's their logo and that's what they like to say. Who else we got? Patty, what's happening? I saw Patty. I saw Swamp too. Hello everyone. All right, last but not least. Kyle has been asking for this forever. Mr. Kyle Shees, son of Greater Shees, has been asking for a gold AK-47 forever. Again, you can ask for these things. I won't always do them, but sometimes I will. So, this is what I got. So again, I had the gold leaf out, so I made Kyle a gold AK-47. What can I tell you about this? The AK-47 was invented by Mikhail Kalashnikov. Kalashnikov was wounded in World War II, and during his downtime, he decided to produce a better rifle, a simple and more reliable automatic rifle. And of course, it led to one of the most iconic and prolific weapons of all time, the AK-47. Over 100 million of these weapons have been built. It's insane. They're still used today. It's just again, when you make something simple and reliable, it's good to go. So that is my gold-leafed AK-47. So there you go. That one's for Kyle. And that one's just called AK-47G for gold. So, all right, so there are your 3. So we have a total of, what, 5 people on the list tonight? 5, yeah, 5. And it's pretty cool. So here's your 5 for tonight. I'll show this again when we're ready to let these fly. But one of these lovely people are going to win tonight, and if you win tonight, you can choose one of these paintings, or you can go online and go through all of them and pick one that you like, and send me a message, and I will get that out to you. So that's how that works. If the winner doesn't choose any of these, all 3 will go up on the website, and then again you can use that code on them and take them away. So you got to give me about 10 minutes after the feed to get them up on the site. But if you are looking for one in particular that's new, just keep refreshing the page after the feed on my website. And because if you don't refresh, it'll never show up until you refresh it. So there you go. So that's that. Let me show you 2 more 543s. Swamp is here, and I hope he doesn't mind, because you'll notice that I did not say which one was the time-lapse for this week, because I did a commission for Swamp Picker, And I decided to make his commission the 540, the time lapse for this week. So Swamp, if your son is watching, have him close his eyes. So here is Swamp's 543. Again, when you get a commission from me for 543, it's black and white, but occasionally I can get color into that. So that's what happened with this one. So I will try my best, but if I can't do it, please have mercy on me. So Swamp also opted for the framing, again, because the framing's covered under the sale as well. So you basically get this for you get the framing almost for nothing. And this is just a Strat Ultra. So this one is the time lapse for tomorrow. So if you want to see how I painted this, you can become a member and watch it right now, or you can watch it tomorrow when it goes live. And this is his Strat Ultra, and I call this Ultra Denim because the denim is the name of the color. And there you go. I got one more to show you too, because this 543 was purchased from last week, the Red Skies at Night, and this one they also opted to have it framed, which is cool. So these are fun. This when they're all framed up, they're all ready to hang, and I re-signed the back. And yeah, it's ready to go. So that's how they look. And you can get either white or black for the frames. So there you go. I promise that's all the show and tell we got. Let's get to Mom's painting. So what I've done to kind of speed things along, actually, if you have any questions, fire them out now so I can get going. Bug, what's up, buddy? Who else did I miss? Hopefully I didn't miss anyone. And I'm sorry about the stuffy nose. Wink, what's going on, buddy? I actually feel much better. The cold is just about past, but I still get a little bit of a stuffy nose. So it will not affect me like it did last week or the week before. It's been a long one. All right, so here's the painting so far. And what I've done is I've done all the base stuff for it already. Let me move some stuff around so you guys are in a better spot for this, and I'll explain what I did so we can just get into the fun stuff. What I've done is I've based everything. I've underpainted the whole painting without you guys. What these are on, it's an 063 little piece of aluminum, and they're cut to the same size. These paintings are always the same size, which is nice. They fit. My dad, before he passed, made a little rack for these, so they just line up. Every year I give her one, and then she puts it in the, she rotates them. She puts them in there. So they're all the same size. They fit in that rack. This year she's been really into bird watching. She's got a really cool little bird feeder right outside of her window, and she watches the birds come in and out, and she's really gotten into it. And she loves cardinals, so I thought it would be a good thing to do this one for her. So I'll show you quickly how I got here, and then we'll just get right into it. Let me lower the guts on this for a minute, though, because it's not as washed out as that. There we go. That's better. Here we go. Yeah. I got it. I'm good. Marvin the Martian. Yes, thank you, Real. So the Real One is showing everyone how to win a painting next week. Just type in 543 and give me a suggestion for one of those black and white paintings. There you go. And Honey just did it. Yeah, now, here's the thing, guys and girls. I don't know. I think there are 4 Mondays in December. 4 or 5. But in any event, the list resets at the beginning of 26. So get on in now. If you haven't won yet, get your suggestions in, because there are only 5 people on the list. As soon as the new year hits, that list resets and everyone's eligible again, which means all the zillion people that have been making suggestions will be eligible to win again. So now's the time to maximize your odds. Anyway. All right, so what I did is a regular piece of aluminum, it's actually powder coated. And what I do is I sand it with 600 grit. I sand the powder coating to make it nice and even and clean. And then I spray it with Autoborn Sealer. In this case, I sprayed it with gray Autoborn Sealer because it's kind of a wintry scene. But I could use anything. You use white, Autoborn Sealer, red, whatever makes sense for your background. But the Autoborn Sealer is important because that acts as the base for the whole painting. It acts like gesso for the whole painting. I do that on everything. As the hot sauce says, I put that shit on everything. No good. Now I can't get monetized because I said a bad word. But anyway, so that's gray, and then I sand it lightly with 1500, usually between 1000 and 1500. The 1500 pad I have has a lot of bite to it. It's probably closer to 800 because it's cheap. But yeah, anyway, about 800 will get it really smooth, and then it's ready to go. So from there, I made a bunch of copies, as I usually do. I'll show them to you so I can show you what I did, and then, like I said, we're going to get right into it. So first one was the background. So I have my little cardinal here. So I kind of put him in his place, put a bunch of magnets on him, and then I sprayed the whole background, the grays and the whites. And it was pretty simple because it's, out of focus. So there's that one. And then what I did was I painted the ice-covered branches. Let's find that one. Somewhere in here. Maybe. Possibly. Yeah, no, that's not it. Well, you get the idea. What happened to it? I don't know. It's somewhere around here. Oh, here it is right here. Okay, I got it. So here's the branches. So what I do is I held that in its place. And you notice the branches, you can see the brown in the branches. So all I did was spray a little bit of brown first in the middle, and then I used the template and then sprayed the edges with the white, and that's pretty much ready. There's still some more work to do on the ice and the branches, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to work on the bird. The bird was next. So I cut out just the red part of the bird, which is basically all of him, and put this in place. And I sprayed the underlying base color first. So you see that's kind of an orange color. When you think of cardinals, male cardinals, you think of that bright red color. They're really not. And if you really want to get a good sense of what that color is watch for the females. They're gray on the top and they got kind of a lighter colored belly. And they have this rose color that's in that in their chest. And that's the real color. It's really neat. It's kind of an orangey red. So here's a better picture of that. So you can see a lot of that. I mean, they read red when they're out in the wild because it's just, they just stand out that way. But it's really this kind of an orangey, yellowy, reddish color. So anyway, I picked that color. It's right down there in his butt. And that's the base color. So everything else is going to be done on top of that. So then I sprayed that in, and that's all ready to go. And finally, last but not least, is the little black bits of him. It just helps for figuring out where stuff is. You don't have to do this. I could have done all the feathers first, but that's his mask and his feet, and those went in, and that was that. And that's, now you're caught up. That's where we're at. So again, usually when I do these demos, like I would have done all that with you guys. We would have got here, and then that would have been the end of the feed. And I do the same thing all the time. We start at the beginning, we get to this point, and we stop. So I figured at this point, we can go from here on, like start working on some of the details. And I'll get you guys closer on this too. So let's do it. What I don't have is a fancy setup like Scott's where I can show you the reference photo at the same time. I can do that after, when I'm in edit, but we don't have the editing function for the live stream. So you have to take my word for it. It's going to look like that when we're done. We should be able to push through this thing too. We should actually be able to get just about all of it done. There's a lot going on in this, but we should be pretty good. If you have any questions, please yell them out. Oh, thanks, Brian. So yeah, I should have mentioned that. So the reason why this came up was that my mom is one of my heroes. She's just an amazing human. And she decided 42 years ago that she wasn't going to have another drink. And just like that, that's what happened. So she quit drinking 42 years ago. And 19 years ago, she decided that she didn't want to smoke anymore. And she just quit. So what she was doing was she had this little, again, my dad made it. It's like a little, I don't know how to describe it. It was this little thing that sat on the counter, and Mom had a number in it. And it was the first number was the drinking, the not having a drink. The other number was a cigarette one. And it was just kind of this little cool thing. But she used like metal mailbox numbers for it. She would replace them. And I'm like, oh no, we could do something a lot more fun than that. And I started painting these little paintings with the numbers on them. So it replaced the mailbox numbers, and it gave her something kind of fun. So that's the rest of the story with that. All right, so now you guys are close. I like that. Yeah, she's amazing. And both instances, she just quit cold turkey. Now, the 19-year ago one was amazing because she smoked her entire life, and so that's crazy talk. She just quit. She just decided she wanted to she wanted to be able to go to Italy. She's 100% Italian. She wanted to go to Italy, and she wanted to be able to walk around, and she wanted to be able to see her, she wanted to see her grandchildren grow up. She wanted to see her great-grandchildren. She just wanted all these things, and she knew that smoking wasn't part of it. And so she just quit. Like, I can't stop eating chips, you know what I mean? And she just decides to quit smoking after, most of her life. And she just does it. So again, she's a hero. All right. And I missed one more thing. Tonight's cheers is from Paladin Brewing Company. Paladin Brewing Company is in Youngstown, Ohio. Hooray! So this is their IPA of Revelation. It's great. And yeah. So there we go. All right. So now I have the comments. That's awesome. I just saw Luke's comment. Luke, that's a great suggestion. All right. What am I thinking? Yeah, okay. I have the comments right near me now, right here. So now I can see you. So if you have any questions, please, please, please let me know. And you guys are going to be really close. So I think that'll be fun too. All right. Let's get to it. So the first step is how do I get where stuff is? Because again, I'll back out to this one so you can see it. All those little subtle feathers, I got to get all those in. And how do you even start? You can start sketching them in, and that's fun. But the way that I usually do it, I don't like to rework a painting too much. And that's just me. You could get in here with a paintbrush and start throwing stuff in and then adjust it and move it around and put more layers on and cover up the bad ones and keep the good ones. And that's totally valid. I like to just kind of nail it and get going. Again, so how do I get that in there? That's what these photocopies are really good at. I bet when she told you no as a child, she meant it. That's the iron resolve. Yeah, Brian, last year's painting was a wooden spoon. So, yeah, she never actually hit us with a wooden spoon, but she never hit us with a wooden spoon. But the fear of getting hit by a wooden spoon was real. So yeah, it was pretty good. She could pinch like anything though. You'd be in the store with her, and you'd start acting up, and she'd just reach over and grab this piece of you, and I swear the pinch went right down to your soul. It was crazy. This is an 063 piece of aluminum, which is fairly thick, so the magnets have a hard time going through it. So what I got to use a jumbo magnet. So it's going to cast a shadow, but I'm going to try to do this so it doesn't really interfere with stuff. Yeah, so Brian knows about wooden spoons. Yeah, yep. My dad never had to hit us at all. Me neither. One of my parents, we grew up in a generation. My parents were both born in, my dad was born in 38. My mom was born in 40. So they grew up in the era of, Bing Crosby beating his children with a bag of oranges. I don't know if that's a true story, but I heard it, and it's funny because I love Bing Crosby. But my parents never hit us, which is nowadays that's oh, well, good. That's a normal thing. But, back then, I'm sure my dad and my mom got it. But it was just a threat. It was just the Cold War of corporal punishment. You thought you might get the wooden spoon if you were bad. So you just didn't do bad. It was pretty easy. All right, so what I've done here is I've cut out the little sections where those feathers are. And this is going to act as kind of like my starting point. So for this, I think I'm going to use black. And it's a really reduced black. So it sounds scary, but it's really not. You'll see what I mean in a second. This is just designed to kind of get things started. Now this painting, while everything up to this point was paintbrush or airbrush, a lot of what you're going to see tonight is paintbrush because it is a lot of building up. Yeah, swamp. Yeah, see, wooden spoons. That's it. I think it was my brother or my sister. One of my siblings hid her wooden spoon once, and that didn't go over real well. We didn't get hit, but man, that wasn't a good day. All right, so I've got black in the brush now. So what I'm going to do really lightly, and this is super reduced black. All this is going to do is this is just going to set it up so that I know where I'm going to start painting. So I'm just going to really lightly kind of put this on here. Mostly near the beginning, the left-hand side of this, and the edges, because you'll see it when I pull it off, because this will tell me where everything needs to go. And it's really just 3 sections here. Also, if you're making suggestions, you don't have to only make one suggestion, but if you do make more than one, you only get entered once. So keep that in mind. More suggestions don't get you more chances. It's only 1 chance per person, so keep that in mind too. All right. And when you pull this off, now I have something to work with. So now I know where everything is. Pretty simple, right? But again, it takes a really light hand. You don't want to go nuts with this because, again, he's going to be bright red in the end. So I want to make sure that he stays that way. So the other thing I want to do too is I want to start thinking about, I always work from back to front. So I did the background already, but that holds true for the bird too. Let me see if I can show you this without having to back this out all the way out. So yeah, I can actually. So if you look at these feathers on him, these downy feathers, they're really awesome. Let me just focus so I can really see it. There you go. So if you notice, there's dark underneath all these feathers. It's a dark red, but then the small pin feathers here are on top of that. So I still think of back to front. So the thing that's in the back is this darker color, and then these lighter, really thin, wispy feathers are on top of that. So that's really how I'm going to handle the whole thing. Ian, what's up, buddy? Tara, what's happening? A Native American woman looking in the water at her spirit animal reflection. That's a really good one. You guys that's good. Could you not do the same technique with different shade of red instead of black? Yeah, absolutely, Chris. Yeah, you could use yellow if you wanted to. If there was so if you're looking at the bird, the reason why I chose black is see how this color here is kind of like, well, it's black. I know it's black. But you could use a dark red. All I need to do is really figure out where stuff is with this. But I could have used blue. That would have worked really well. I could have used green. The green and the red would have been really cool. They would have produced a really kind of a grayish color. So yeah, you could do a whole bunch of different stuff. I choose black because it's easy and I already have it reduced and mixed up, but that's an excellent question. Ian, how's your wife doing? Oh, Stash just got it. All right, fine. Be that way. I'm going to take my sweatshirt off because all of a sudden, the Animaniacs, I remember that. That's awesome. Old baseball mitt. Adam, I don't think I've ever done that. And hello, Adam. What's up, buddy? All right. So I think we're going to start with a paintbrush kind of thing because this is all like going to be layers and layers and layers. Move this over here so I can see it. Again, I wish I could show you the reference photo at the same time, but I would need to get more gear for that, and that would involve selling more paintings and doing stuff. Incidentally, for those who are looking to find out or wondering, when you guys buy mostly 543s, if I sell a painting, that just goes into keeping the doors open. But 543s, when they sell, that money and yeah, mostly the 543s. I was going to think of something else, but I think it's mostly the 543s. That goes into upgrading the studio and getting the live stream better. So like the switcher that I got was because of 543s. Incidentally, let me turn this on so you can see it. There you go. So I get to see the palette. I was going through because there was a lot of 543s that I've given away and I haven't taken them out of the system and people were ordering them, which had happened again, which I'm embarrassed about. But I went through the site today and took down all the paintings that aren't really there. So when someone wins one and I forget to take it out of inventory, it still shows as, on the website, which sucks because then people want to buy one and they go and pick it and it's already gone because I gave it away. So I went through the whole site and took out all the ones that are like that. There are 10 items, 10 543s per page that I had to go through. So when you open the page for the products, there's 10 543s. There were 85 pages of 543s. That includes all of them, the ones that are gone, the ones that are sold or whatever. So that's 850 543s. Roughly. It's crazy. All right, let's do it. I'm going to start with kind of a black red. So this is red, but I got a little bit of black in it anyway at some point. So I'm going to use that. So we're going to start building up those feathers that are underneath and kind of shaping this thing out. So I'm going to use this black or red because it's already got black in it, and I want a kind of a deep red, deeper red. What else we got? Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why Facebook, whoops, why YouTube changed all the names. I'm sure there's something about it going on with it. And what they did was they just added like numbers at the end, which is highly confusing for me because I have all your names in the spreadsheets. So when I started doing this, like if I didn't immediately recognize the person, I'm like, wait, who is this? All right, so what I'm doing is this is a really thin kind of, it's this color here, but I made it separately. So this color here happened because I sprayed, black directly on the red color, but this has red in it, so it's going to give me that same kind of color. And again, what I'm thinking about is the underneath color here. Cheese Grits just had a really cool live stream with Swamp and one of the other lock pickers. And they worked simultaneously on a challenge lock or challenge locks that they were doing, which is a lot of fun. So if you get a chance, follow Swamp and of course follow. Well, Cheese Grits is under his Cheese Grits account, but if you follow Western Massacre Lock Sport, that's his lock picking page. So definitely check that out. A lot of fun. Address and name. Oh, maybe that's what it is. Yeah. I think you're right, honey. Or maybe you're telling me and you are right. Which that's fine. Whatever. Like I said, it screws up the spreadsheet for me though, a lot, because I keep track of all your suggestions and what you guys are doing, and as far as stars or super chats, I guess, over here. And now that gets all funky because you all have different names, even though they're kind of the same. But yeah. Yeah, so there you go, Bill. Bill, Jeebus, Wank. Saw your name. So again, all I'm doing is just building up where the kind of the feather pattern. And what we may do now, so okay. When I'm doing a 543, again, I try to get those done fairly quickly. Within 2 hours is usually the goal for me, for them. With a painting like this, and like Tokyo and New York and all those, heavy-duty paintings, they take a lot longer. It's the same size. In fact, the Tokyo painting is smaller than a 543, area-wise. But, we're, like I said, we're on, whatever it is, almost hour 40 on that. It just takes a lot long. Grouchy, thanks. Welcome to What Could Go Wrong. Now you can go watch the time-lapse video early, but don't leave. You can do that later. And Grouch, the other thing too is right now there's the big sale going on, the holiday sale, but as a member you get 10% off all the time, and that includes actual big-time paintings too. So if you're not getting anything for the holiday sale, but later on you want to grab something, you could still save a bunch of money on that. So it's kind of nice. All right, what I may do is I may kind of concentrate on one area, because this, normally what I would do is I would do this everywhere on the bird to kind of get it all kind of done at the same time. But I may kind of work on just one area and take it to completion, and I try to do that a lot, because I don't want to leave you guys hanging with like, oh, that looks like crap, and now what happens? I'd rather get you to the point. Bug, you're awesome. Thank you, buddy. It was Grouch. Oh, cool. Okay, that's awesome. I started to watch it, Cheese, and I watched you rake that one lock in like 5 seconds, and then I'm like, and meanwhile, like I told you guys, I'm like sawing them in half with the rake because I can't open them, so I feel like I'm just sawing them from the inside. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm done for now. I know I'll figure it out. But then, it's like, what the heck? But it is fun. It is fun. Like I said, I was telling Cheese that, I even brought the lockpicking kit to bed one night, and instead of reading or scrolling on my phone, I just was messing around with the locks, and it was fun. Oh, good. Was 100%? Yeah, I love to hear that. Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna work on his shoulder right here, just to kind of show you how it's gonna roll all together. The CIA book you sent me, Swamp. Sorry, I was just reading Swamp's comment. Cheese. The CIA book is fun. It's written very similar. Oh, honey, Chibis, thank you. There you go. Look at that. Holy roly. It's written a lot as if you already know how to pick locks, and so I've had to kind of reread it and then go online and look for other stuff too. So it's been a really nice kind of back and forth. Well, I'm like, oh, I got to know that, or that seems important because of whatever. So yeah. Look at all those gift memberships. So that's awesome. Dusty, welcome. The gift memberships are awesome. They get you in as a member for a whole month. So thank you, honey. That was really sweet of you. So welcome. Welcome to all our new members. If you decide to re-up, you get your name and credits on all the videos. So that's a fun thing. I have to go back and update a lot of that. You get your cool icons and extra fun emojis and all that great stuff. I got to come up with a what could go wrong emoji though. Yeah, actually I'll do that this week because you guys definitely need to hammer me when I do what could go wrongs. All right, so that's just about it for the dark area for this, which is fun. Yay, month of perks. So the number one perk, well, the 10% is great. Like I said, for this week, don't use that code because it'll override you only use one code. So you want to use the big code, the 40% code. You don't want to use the 10% code. But after the sale's over, yeah, that code's good all the time. So you want to use that. All right, so the next thing I want to do is, so I've based it in this this kind of yellowy orange color, which is great, but a cardinal really has that bright red, especially on his face and the face shield. So I want to use some of that red too. So I'm going to start with this is regular Pyro red, which is, again, if you know me, this is my favorite red that Createx makes. It's an opaque color. It's just brilliant. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start introducing that red. Again, I could airbrush this, but this painting is so small and the texture of this little guy is so fine that an airbrush would just kind of shift the whole thing to red, and I don't really want to do that. So I'm just going to kind of start poking in this red. There's a lot of layers that'll go in on this too. And again, that's the whole run of it. It's not just oh, a cardinal's red, spray it red. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of going on in this little guy. So we try to build it up the same way that he is in real life, and that makes him look real. I know, shocker, right? Next for Captain Obvious, yeah. I don't know if it's frost on his back or what, or reflection, but there's a neat grayish white on his back too, which is really, really fun. Yeah, Honey's amazing. She's an amazing human being. Honey, and hopefully, Honey, you know I haven't forgotten your painting. Honey bought one of the little cherry paintings, and as a thank you to her, well, also as a practice run for me, I handmade the frame for her painting. She didn't ask to have it framed, but I had an idea for a frame, so I figured I'd use hers as a guinea pig, and So honey, that's almost ready, and I will get that out to you. This brush, by the way, is a Winsor & Newton watercolor brush. This is size 00, so it's pretty small, but it's not as small as you can get. If you watch some of these miniature painters, they have these brushes that are like micro small, like little nubby things. I'm not a big fan of miniature brushes. They just don't hold the wet paint long enough for me. The paint just dries out when the bristles are really too small. So I just use this is a small brush, don't get me wrong, but it's not like, you know, it's not like one hair. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and thanks again to all the lock pickers that have come over. I will be leaning on all of you to help me in my lock picking journey. Seriously, I was watching you guys, and it was like, no way. Just crazy. It's crazy. It's witchcraft. It's witchcraft, I tell you. All right, so now I've got the red in there. I've started with the red, but I don't want to go too crazy with the red because there's a lot of other stuff, and I want to still be able to keep some of that red. It's going to sound weird, but I want to keep some of that red in my back pocket. So when I finish the other stages, if I want to add a little bit more red, I want to be able to do that. If I put all kinds of red all over it, then I have nowhere to go. You know what I mean? So the next thing up is that gray, but it's a whitish gray, but I'm going to err on the side of caution and use a pink to start. Do I want to do that, or is it cooler than that? It's really cooler than that. It's almost like a purple. So yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to start with just white. Oh, what's going on here? I don't know. All right, so we're just going to try white. It's probably going to be too strong, which is why I kind of knocked it down a little bit with some reducer. That white sucks. That's not working. Yeah, so Michael is using the triple lot. Do I have one of those around? But the difference is, and I don't have any of those mini brushes. Yeah, I don't know where my 000 is. The difference between the 000 and this is really just, it's very slight. But it's still got that long set of bristles in it. This is a cheapo brush, but it'll give you an idea. So this is a miniature brush, but see how, well, that's not a really good example because it's all nasty, but the bristles are a lot shorter than the other one when you line them up. So again, you know, the 000 that Michael's talking about, it just has a little bit thinner, but it's still the same length here, maybe a little bit shorter. So it keeps all that wet paint flowing, but the point is like crazy small. But, you know, I talk about this all the time with these watercolor brushes. If I have, like, I have a size 1 here. No, let me go even farther. This here is a size 4 Winsor Newton Series 7. This is an older brush, but if you look at the point on this thing, I mean, if I had to, I could do the painting with this 4 as well. You know what I mean? A good brush will give you that kind of point. To give you like a money comparison, the size the 00 is about $20, which, you know, I get a year out of them, so that's a great ROI. The size 4 I think is about 60 or 70 bucks. I don't use this a lot. This is really a watercolorist brush. Occasionally I'll use it, but yeah. But again, that point that you can get out of it is equally as scary when you have a good brush. These are made from Kolinsky sable, which may not be something that's going to be around for too much longer because the sables are relatively, I don't know if they're endangered, but I don't know. Spy, what's going on? I'm like super scared. Like, I don't want any animals hurt, and there is no way to shave a sable to get the hair for the brushes. So I know what's going on with that, and that makes me want to throw up. But at the same time, I have not found a brush that works this way, or works better than the red sable, Kolinsky brushes. So that's, that's a huge dilemma mentally for me. Um, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's like single-use plastic. Like, you don't want to use it, but sometimes you feel like you have to. If Winsor Newton stopped making them, I would adapt and try to find something else. But, for all these brushes that are out there that people are, like, oh, this is so fancy and all blah, 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 and it comes in this wooden box and all this stuff, none of them work like this one. It's, to me, and I know, people do incredible things with other brushes, but it's been an entire career for me with this brand of paintbrush. Because, and I love brushes. I love getting new brushes, but I've tried a bunch and I just have not found anything. All right, this is working lovely. Christmas ball with a bow. I do need to do some Christmas paintings. I mean, this one's kind of Christmassy. Yeah, see this isn't snow. This is actually the fringe on the edge of his feathers. So, because I can see that as they come around here. They follow the edge of his feathers, so I'm going to get that done. Now, the nice thing is if I overdo this, which I kind of feel like that is a little bit overdone, this is where the airbrush really comes in. In fact, what I'm going to do is I am going to purposely overdo this. We'll put some of these little pin feathers are in here as well. So I'm going to kind of hit these a little bit harder than I should, meaning they're going to be brighter than they should, whiter than they should. But then what I can do, that's a good one, cheese. You want the Jim Carrey Grinch, or the cartoon Grinch? I feel like I've done the cartoon Grinch before. It was really fun going through all of them though today, because in the website, I could see the back end of the website, so I could see all the 543s, even the ones that have sold or have been given away. So it's kind of like going down memory lane. There were a lot of great suggestions from you guys. Some of them were nuts. I have decent pictures of all of them. I don't know how good they are. I don't know if they're book worthy, but it would be hilarious to have a 543 book with like 800 of them all in there. The 5-year retrospective. Oh, Model A Pache. I know I've done the Turbo, Adam. That's an excellent one. Model A. I own a VL. It's somewhere around here. There it is. No, that's a Millennium. Where's my... I don't know if I have it up on the board. Yeah, I do. I see it. This is my... So I showed you guys my Iwata, my first airbrush ever. So I also have my second airbrush ever, which is a Pache VL. Give me 1 second to get this charged up. There we go. I'll show you this brush. Yeah. This is my second airbrush ever. I'll back up a little bit. And it looks like this. This is a Pache VL. This isn't how it was when I got it. I replaced the handle. They sold this metal handle for it, which I thought was pretty cool. It comes with a red plastic handle. And that's all I did to it. This brush fell down a flight of stairs and still worked. This is an absolute tank. This is like the Abrams of the airbrush world. It was the #1 t-shirt brush for the longest time before the Eclipse really kind of took its place. It's just a beast. It is an absolute beast. So I got this probably like 1991-ish, 1990, something like that. But yeah, that's my #2 airbrush ever. I haven't used this in forever. I'm guaranteeing it still works, but again, it probably needs a serious clean out. Yeah, so that's my VL. Astro, what's going on, buddy? I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, thanks, honey. Yeah, let me. I don't know how good the quality of the photos are that I took because I take them for the website. Um, oh, Adam. Okay, sorry. Let's jump back. Yeah, so Adam, this is my Pache VL, my OG VL. I paid $40 for the kit, or $45 for the kit, the deluxe kit, and then like I said, I bought the handle for it after. I think I had the Pro Picker cap on it too at one point, but I put the other cap back on it. So yeah, that's my VL. All right, where were we? Oh yeah, we're gonna take care of this. So now I've hit the white on this. Like, say you do this and you go, oh man, I put too much of the white on there because I was having fun and I got carried away. So the other thing to do here is to tone it down. We'll tone this down and then we'll do the giveaway. And then we'll jump back on it and see how far we can go. But first, I have to find my bird template. Which one? Oh, did I leave it in the thing? It's possible. Yes, I did. I sure did. Deirdre, what's up? Welcome. Oh, thanks. Bye. All right, so here's my little template. Yeah, this is 2 inches by 2¼ inches, the size of this panel. And again, it's this size because it fit the thing, the little display thing that my dad built. So I'm going to put this on here and I'm going to kind of line it up with his back. I'm not really worried about his belly yet. I'm just using it for this back edge here to make sure I don't get any other paint on the area that I don't want. That shadow in the way? It really is. Maybe I won't even use it. Maybe I'll just use this magnet and hope for the best. What could go wrong? I stopped drinking last night, but I started drinking again. Ian, look who you're talking to, man. I have no idea. Mr. Parsons. See, that's the one thing. You have summertime, but you know, it's also tomorrow, so. All right. I'm going to use this Infinity. This is the Infinity CR because I need something that's going to like really be subtle. So this is going to spray really, really fine. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a little bit of reducer and 40/50 in with a little bit of this red paint, which looks like this one up here. This is the Pyro Red. So I'm just going to grab a little bit with the brush and then just drop it in there. I've already got the reducer and stuff in there already. So this is just going to make a really thin, transparent version of it. Visiting family at the moment, be off for another month maybe. Ah, that's cool, but visiting family is worth it, Astral. That's awesome. Let's see if this is enough. Actually, I'm going to add a little bit more. So I have a feeling it's not. 2 minutes. I'm going to get this done, honey. I know it. I can do it. I can do it. Oh, a calendar. Huh. So with 850 for a 12-month calendar, there'll have to be like 70 of them on a month for each month. All right. I've got it now. So I've got all that in there. That's ready to go. And so now I've got this is just straight Pyro Red with the reducer in it. So now what I can do is I can just lightly go back and forth over the white areas. And what that'll do is it'll start to turn them pink and it'll start toning them down. The other nice thing is, because in the beginning, remember I mentioned that these had kind of a purple cast to it. There's a natural blue shift when you paint white over a warm color like red. So this red is first going to turn that a little bit purple before it switches it back to red. So by toning it down, I actually kind of do two things. I give it that purple color because I'm not going to just make it go away. And at the same time, I can tone it all down. And I'm just going real light. I'm going to do this. I'm going to flip this piece of paper over so you can see what this looks like without the red. Because right now it's red on red. It's really tough to see. But I'll show you what I'm doing in a second here once I get it done. So that's it. Back to Steve, be good. I'll catch you later. So I'm going to flip this over so it's in place you can see it. And all I'm doing is basically outlining that feather area. But you can see how fine this brush works. So I'm just kind of going around the outside of that feathered area and then, you know, kind of backing it off as I move it towards the inside. Because again, I love that orangey red color. I don't want to lose that by just like hosing the whole thing down. I want to just kind of shift those white feathers with the red, but then kind of leave the rest of it the orange. So that's kind of what's going on there. And that's the result, like that. And there you go. Ta-da! How much time we have? It's 7. Let's give away a painting. I'm not going to move anything. We're just going to do this like this. And then I'm going to show you the last couple detail type of things on that, and then we'll see what happens. We'll move it on. But now that you can see the reference, you can see that black, see the white above and everything. That's kind of what we're doing. So, surprise. And then, like I said, yeah, I think it's 2 by 2 1/4-ish, if I remember right. Yeah, 2 1/4 by, 2. So that's the size of it. Teeny weeny. Bobby, what's up? Just in time. London Pen, what's up, Sean? You're not late. You're right on time. Because we give stuff away, and we love giving stuff away. What would happen if you use red candy? That's an excellent question, Brian. So the problem with red candy for me is that it will affect everything I put on after. So with that color, with that pyro red, I could go back over this with white. Say I screw up and I put too much red on and I blow out all the white I just did. And then I want to put, you know, more white and do it again, which is totally great. That's the way to do it. If I used candy for that, I'd have to put a barrier coat on it. If not, all the candy, the dye in the candy will just keep going up, will just keep migrating up through every layer that I put on it. So it'll turn all the white pink automatically and in an uncontrollable way. So that's why I probably wouldn't want to use candy on something like this. But on a scale this size, you could, like say you loved the Createx, the Wicked Candy, Candy 2.0, this stuff here. This is what Brian's talking about. Say you loved working with it because it's like, it is easy to work with. It's like a dye. It's great. All you do is, well, this scale, it's super easy. You just need a little bit of bleed checker. This is like a special clear that will act as a barrier coat. So you spray all your candy, it looks great. You spray a layer of this on real quick, let it cure, and then that migration of that candy won't come through. So you can just paint white on it and it'll stay white. But again, it's one extra step for me. So I never, I wasn't using candies a lot. So I never think of it. All right, let's give away a painting. Yeah, Rusty, yours is on the dock. It's going to go out either tomorrow or Wednesday, but likely tomorrow because I'm getting all my stuff together. Where? Oh, it's right here. It's right here. Let's look at these 3 real quick, and then we'll give one away. So first up is Cheese, Grits, and NyQuil Western Massacre Lock Sport. Asked for a Porsche logo. So I did that with gold leaf. Again, sorry, that's not 23 karat. I ran out of 23 karat, so that's just the imitation gold. But it still has a cool effect. I think I have a time lapse of me doing one of the gold leaf ones, but there's definitely live streams of me doing gold leaf. Next is Patricia. Patricia asked for a golden mini doodle. That's my little golden mini doodle right there. Put him down there. And last but not least is Kyle Shees has been asking for a gold AK-47, and there you go. Same thing. That's not 24 karat, but it is gold leaf. So, ta-da! There are your 3. So congratulations to the winner, which is going to be one of these 5 lovely people that I'll pull up in just a second here. As soon as I find it. There it is. Okay. There's your 5. Keyman, Scott, Greg, Paul, and Neo. All right. Let me switch to, while I'm doing that, I'm going to switch to not that one. This one? No, not that one either. I don't know what I'm doing. It's fine. Everything's totally fine. This is the one I want to switch to right here. That's the one. All right. 5. 5 lovely people. Did you memorize who they were? Because your winner's number 2. All right. Mr. W. Scott King III. I haven't seen Mr. Third yet. Last week's time-lapse video was for him, so that was his painting. But he just won one, so congratulations. Oh, Paul's grumpy. See? That's crazy. Well, there you go. So it still worked out well because Paul didn't win. Grumpy didn't win. Unbelievable. So, all right, cool. Congratulations. If we would have just drawn again anyway, so that's good. All right, Mr. King, you won. I know you're who you are because your name didn't change much. Oh, YouTube, you're killing me with the name change. So congratulations, Mr. King. I'm gonna put you know, if Mr. King is here and he wants to choose one of these, you know, yeah, the way it works is you get till the end of the feed to pick, and then you get first shot at those, and then that's it. And then they go up on the site. But he still wins. He's just going to have to pick one of the ones that's on the site, which doesn't suck. You know, there's a lot of them on there. Okay. Grumpy is, all right. I need a cheat sheet. I need notes. All right, so where are we at? Oh, we're going to put the final few details on this. I can't post this when I'm done. I can't even post this tomorrow because, like I said, I post it on all my socials, and Mom loves Facebook, so she will see it if I post it on Facebook. So I will. I know what I'll do. When I'm done with this, I'll put up a community post with the finished painting so you guys can see it. So, Donna, what's up? Donna, how's your lovely husband doing? Wayne's here, right? Yeah. Well, if Wayne isn't here, hello to Wayne too. All right. Back to this. There we go. So I've got this really dark version of the red now. I've added a bunch of black to it. So now what I can do is I can go back into the sky and continue to pull out little tiny details. And the way this works for me is the darker or lighter it gets, the less paint I'm putting on. So that, you know, all that's building up to, you know, the final details, which are done with the lightest color and the darkest color. Now, the lightest color is already on this feather with those the whites. There's nothing going to be any brighter than that. But say there was like a highlight, like in his eye or something. That would be the very last thing I put on. Stash, what's up? Wait. No, okay, it's fine. I was going to say Stash can't be W. Scott King III because you can't be two people. It's grounds for dismissal. I appreciate you guys. And like I said, I think I said it on the live on Open Studio. You know, right now my channel's at an awesome point where everyone who's on my channel is an actual person and is live and interacts. And it's really easy for me to do the giveaway like that. If I had, you know, 1 million subs and, you know, there's a bunch of bots and all this other stuff, I couldn't do the giveaway. You know, it'd just be too crazy. So I'm really happy with the way things are right now. Not to say I don't want the channel to grow. I really, really do. But you know, the thing that's going to happen is when it gets gigantic, and, you know, we have less than scrupulous people who are going to do things, you know, against the rules, like make multiple accounts and stuff like that. That's what's going to kind of end up where the giveaway probably won't happen the way it's happening now. But so I'm really happy. I love it. I love it is what it is. Wait. Oh, Wayne, that's you? Oh my God. So Wayne couldn't win either. So really there were only 3 people on the list. Oh my God. Thank you all. You guys, I'll be seeing myself out. Well, still, I know Mr. W. Scott King III is a real person and hasn't won yet. So at least we still got that going. Oh my gosh. Thanks, YouTube. You guys are great. All right. So Wayne can't win. Even if Wayne won, he couldn't win. So what happens in an instance like that is we would draw another name, or if say like Wayne, it is Wayne, but you know, only 3 people are still lost. That's okay, keep it. Just make sure your suggestion is in, because you know, you have 3 weeks, 4 weeks of really, really high chance of winning. So, and if you guys are here a lot, you know, sometimes at the end of the year we go nuts and give away a bunch of paintings at the end. So make your suggestions every week, so we all know who you are, and you know, who knows what's going to happen. What I've done while I'm talking is I've went back to the palette and got bright red again, just the bright red by itself. So this is what I was talking about with this. Now, if I put all that red on there before, if I sprayed it hard red, I'm going to lighten this up a little bit so you can see it. I wouldn't have anywhere to go with this. I couldn't put this bright red on here, but now I can start just putting in these little feathers with these bright shocks of red. And this will push that whole area towards the red, but still keep all that detail. So it really helps to build things up really slowly. And again, when the end of it, it makes it look real. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely. So if that's the case, there's only 3 people on the list. Assuming that those 3 people are actual people. Jeebus. There's an air bubble there. The palette underneath. All right, how are we doing? Lovely. So again, it's right now it's just back and forth. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting in these little feathers, making sure that everything looks good. Look at this. I lost. Well, we'll play Lotto tonight, Greg. Yeah, but make sure you get your suggestions in. That's all I got to say. All I gotta say. Well, look at it this way. You know, like, again, January 1st, when everyone's back in and there's, you know, a ton of people, makes it even harder. So hopefully you can see also now. So here's that original color. But see how it's like, it's still there, but it's like underneath all this stuff now. So that gives it that feeling. And again, what I come out with is this orangey red color of this, with this cardinal, but I've got so much of this like bright red now mixed in the little details, that this has taken on like that brighter red color, which is fun. Liney's from Chippewa, Marge's homeland. I had the last of the 715 beers, which was sad. I really enjoyed those. So those are from Eau Claire, which was they were a fine beer. Blueberry, which is nice to get like a fruity blueberry beer in wintertime, because they're all like, you know, cinnamon spice and porters. So that was nice to have that summery type beer. Keyman, I know exactly, yeah. Keyman. It's good, and like I said, that's categorized as the what could go wrong thing. We've had it happen before. I've drawn someone's name who's already won, and most people are really cool with me being stupid, so we make up for it, that's for sure. Or I do anyway. I make up for being stupid a lot. Gary and Kyle, what's up? Kyle, are you just getting here? Kyle, I finally painted your gold AK-47 for you. It's all done. So in that whole thing, like I feel like I've lost the white again on his back, but again, that's not a big deal. So see all that kind of stuff going on back there? Those like fish scales. See, I've lost that on the back of mine, but it's not a big deal. You know, I just rinse and repeat, really. And I keep doing that until it feels right. You know what I mean? And the good news about that too is when you, well, it's not really a screw up, it just kind of happened. But the nice thing is the more times I have to add layers onto this, the more complex it gets, and the more real it looks. If I just get it in one shot, sometimes that's not enough, you know. It's like not realistic enough because it's like just the red. It doesn't have the black in it or whatever. We've been here just overlook. Oh, Gary. You know I love you guys. Could never overlook you guys. My PA contingent. I did do Mike Myers, yeah. That was for Gary. Because that was one of those moments. Gary purchased a bunch of paintings, a bunch of 543s, and one of them he picked went to someone as a win. Someone chose it as a winner, and I never took it out of the site, so Gary purchased it, and I didn't have it. So talked to Gary, and he was cool, and I ended up doing the Mike Myers for him. Hopefully I got them all. Like, hopefully everything that's on the site now is on, you know, in inventory. So there we go. Yay! All right, that's feeling much better. I'm gonna keep working on it if you guys want to hang out for a little bit. I'm feeling good about this. The other thing too is the turkey painting that I started. That has actually been purchased too. So if you were looking for that, because I know I mentioned last week or the week before that you know that was up for sale. Someone grabbed that, so that's gone. I will post that as soon as it's done. It was grabbed before it was finished, so I will post that one for you. So what I'm doing is I'm back on the red now, and just kind of adding that bright red on his kind of face shield here. This is very red here, so there's not a lot of that orange underneath. Gary, you know what happened with the VW? Someone bought it today, again. So that one painting right there is what kind of like said, that's it, I'm done. And it was surprising to me how irresponsible I have been with not removing paintings that people have won. So yeah, so the VW one, I have to repaint that, but what I do is I try to make them a little bit different when I have to redo them. So that way everyone gets, you know, still gets an original, still gets something that's different. So I'm going to do something a little bit different with that VW painting, but yeah. Yeah, that's that one painting. That's what did it today. I'm like, I'm done. That's the last. I'm not doing it anymore. So I went through every single one of them. I probably missed some, but at least I got, you know, the bulk of them. All right, same deal here. I've got the red in here. Yeah, he's looking good. There are two things I'm going to do. The white continues up on his back here, but also the black. So I'm going to do the white first to get that out of the way. I'll do the black, and then we'll have this whole section kind of done for today, which is nice. It took me, well, with the giveaway and all the other stuff, it took me about 45 minutes to do this part. The whole painting, a painting like this, generally takes anywhere from about 5 to 10 hours to do, like, you know, a fully detailed small painting like this. It obviously doesn't have as much going on as a Tokyo painting. That's a different animal. But a painting like this, where it's kind of localized and it's, you know, pretty simple as far as the detail and the color, would take me roughly about 10 to 12, you know, like anywhere between 5 to 10 hours. The cars that I do at this scale, you know, usually have a lot more going on in them, like the chrome and all that stuff. So they usually take about 10 hours to do. But something like this little guy is probably going to be in around, you know, the 5-hour mark. All right, we'll get some of that white here, although there's not a lot of it. So this is really reduced. So this is nice. It's going to give me like a pink edge on the feathers right here, because it's so like watery, which is just right. Nice. Look at you guys go. All right, so wait, stash is, I'm gonna make notes here. We know stash is Wayne. A pigment of your imagination. Well done. Well done. Good job, Skaz. Sask. I can talk. All right. And swamp was, yeah, okay, got it. All right, black. That's the last thing to do. So the last bit is that, you know, the darker color. I'm going to use this darker reddish, blackish color right here. And this will get these darker areas in. I could have done these first, but they're so like right on the edge that it's just as easy to kind of poke them in from here. Oops. I said oops because this is really reduced, so when you have a lot of low viscosity paint in a brush, if you push down at the end of the stroke, it'll flood out like a little dumbbell, like a little blob at the end, which is exactly what happened there, which is fine. Everything's fine. What's nice is when the brush gets just right, like when there's just enough paint in there, it works like a beast. Like right now, like there's just enough paint in here so I can do these micro small lines and it doesn't flood out even if I push on it a little bit, which is wonderful. But then, you know, then there's not enough paint in it. It's like a short window for that to be that way. Yay. There he is. There used to be, I grew up in south of Boston, and there used to be a drawing show on Saturday mornings called Captain Bob. And it was a lot like, kind of like Bob Ross for kids. Like he would have like crayons and markers and stuff. Not crayons, like actual stuff. But he would do all like wildlife, you know, and you would draw with him. You know, he would draw the basic stuff and show you how to do it. And I used to wake up every Saturday morning with my 4 crayons. And so anyway, doing birds and stuff always reminds me of that. All right, I feel really good about that. So that's where it's going to be. I'm going to back you guys up a little bit. First, I'll give you the big, this is the far away look, but I'm going to move this camera here so that you guys get a more head-on, kind of a straight ahead view of it, but not, you know, not the way you are, which is dead nuts on it. So let's get this lined up, give you a good idea. Yeah, it still needs to be worked. I still need to add more red to it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So you got, this is the scale of it. It's like I said, 2.5 by 2 1/4, so it's pretty small. This is my reference. Let me pull this out a little bit so you can see it. And here is what it looks like right now. So one thing I'm noticing is I've got too much shape, too much round shape in each one of these pieces, this area, which is great. That's a problem I'd rather have, because the fix to that is to add more of the red. See how it still has that round feel on each one of these little bits? Mine's just a little bit too much. So the way to fix that, or to add to that, is just to add more of that red. I'll do it a little bit in the beginning here so you can see it from a distance. So you can kind of see what it does. So I'm going to grab that straight red again. I could add a little bit of black to it, but I want this kind of vibrant. And then what I want to do is I want to add those little feather lines in the middle of it. And the red has a lower value than this color here. So it's going to kind of take that bulge out of the top part of it. But again, I get the bonus of having this turn like this brighter red color, which is great. So stuff like that. You know, again, minor adjustments along the way, but I feel pretty good about that. One other thing that I didn't show you, like this type of thing that's going on here, which you can just see it. It's like dark, but then you have these little thin feather-like, you know, the downy type feathers. The way I'll end up doing those is with an X-Acto blade. I'll actually scratch it off. So what I'll do is I'll paint the red color, this orangey red color that's underneath, And then I'll take the razor blade and just start scratching out all these little feathers. And then what I'll do is I'll go back in with the same orangey red color and then just lightly airbrush over the whole thing, and that'll tone it down to what you see here. So keep an eye on that when I post it. The back doesn't have those feathers really the same way. It's a little bit different. But there you go. That's what we got. Hope you liked it. What do I want to do? I want to turn that off, and I want to turn that so you don't do that. Scott McKay, what's up? Here he is with all his new fancy gear. What am I looking for? Oh, I'm looking for that. That's what I'm looking for. That, because that camera doesn't work when I do that. You're going to have cameras everywhere. I'm sorry. But it's the price we pay for being so close. So now I'll switch to this one. All right. So you guys know what to do. You have 6 days left of the sale. 40% off. Again, there's some really cool things on there that you could get for a screen. So please do that. Take advantage of that. Again, if you missed the live sale in the 543s, you got it for another week. So take advantage of that. Buy up those 543s. I'd love to kind of move as many as I can so we can make room for new ones for this year coming up. Congratulations to W. Scott King III on his win. Thank you to everyone else who could have won twice but didn't. That was nice. What could go wrong? And that's what we got. So schedule is the same. I have the time lapse already up. Open Studio, I have to record that tomorrow night. I'm falling behind. So you might see a live Open Studio this week. I'm not sure. But either way, it'll still be Wednesday night at 8. So we'll work on Tokyo for that. And I think that's everything I got. So you guys have been amazing. I hope you enjoyed my little cardinal tonight. And if you have any questions that I missed, just shoot me a message, and I'll be happy to answer them. All right. So you guys have a wonderful week. Take care. Hopefully I'll see you on Wednesday. And if not, come back on Monday, and we'll do it all again. So you guys are great. And I will catch you all later. Have a good one.